Hi everybody, it's Janet and welcome to my channel and to another episode of Sunday Craft Talkin'. I am here today to show you a couple things. Didn't make as much as I normally do this week, partly because work is kicking my butt right now. There's some things going on that's keeping me very busy there. And then also I've been having trouble with sinuses. I guess it's my allergies coming to get me, but I've had a lot of congestion, and it after a while just makes you tired to have all that pressure in your head all the time. And so anyway, I've slept a little more and worked a little more, and so I just didn't have the energy to really do a whole lot of crafting today, or this week, sorry. So I do have a couple things to show you though, and then I'm going to talk about paper storage, because this is called Sunday Craft Talking, which means it can be about what you've made, but also just general crafting topics. And so I knew the day would come when I didn't have all that much to show for what I made that week, but I thought I would share some ideas for paper storage with you, so hang on there. So what you're looking at right now is the card that I made for today's Eyelet Outlet post, and it's pretty cute, I think. This uses some brads from Eyelet Outlet, of course, the mini spiders, mini leaf brads here, and the ghost brads. And I Copic colored the tree and used oxide inks for the background. I used the new webs die set from Art Impressions for a couple of these webs. And yeah, it turned out real cute. The actual set that I used to create the tree and the grass with is from Diamond Press, and I think it's called, yes, it's sorry, I had to think about that, but it's a Diamond Press Peekaboo set, and it's actually made to make the peekaboo card where when you pull it open something pops up above the scene. I had hoped to make a couple of those cards this week, but it just didn't happen. So it is a Halloween set, and I'll want to make those this coming week, so I have them to show to you. So that's that. And then also right now I'm going to show you what I made for Art Impressions this week. This one is from Art Impressions, and it's called Halloween Slimline. Here is that set. It has this really nice large Halloween scene with these little critters on a wagon. And honestly, other than the fact being that there's gourds here or pumpkins, it could also just be a nice little fall scene that you created with that, because there's no jack-o'-lanterns or anything in that main image. There is a separate jack-o'-lantern. There's some leaves here that you can nestle the wagon in like I did. There's a couple extra leaves, this cute bat hanging from a tree branch, and an extra little witch's hat, and one additional, make that two additional, there's one here and one here, spiders that you can use in the set. So this is nice because you see it says dies included. That is correct. The dies come in this set, and everything is usable right from the get-go. I love that they tend to sell their dies with their sets instead of separately. So then it all comes, it fits together nicely in one package. It's a lot easier to store. Now let's talk about, as I said, paper storage. Now I buy a lot of my papers from cut cardstock. I do get some complimentary cardstocks from them, but I also buy quite a bit from them. So they come in typically a pack of 25, 8.5 by 11. You can get 12 by 12s, and I do have some of that too, especially in glitter papers and other things that I like to use. But since I'm mainly a card maker these days, I don't need very much in 12 by 12. So I think it was Jennifer McGuire who recommended to use ticket holders to store paper packs. Now, as I said, typically the paper I get from them from cut cardstock is 25 pieces, so it fits snugly into this package. When they come, the packages are just covered with like a light plastic, sealed in a light plastic packaging, kind of like a shrink wrap. And on each of the packages is this cut cardstock label that tells you what color it is, what line it is. This one is Star Dream Metallic, what pound weight it is, and the quantity. So I like to peel that off that bag, and most of the time I can get them to peel off pretty easily, and they're still very sticky, so I put them right on the ticket holder. These are the ticket holders that I've been using. They are a Staples brand, and it's the only one they carry as far as I know. So it's a 9x12 heavy duty, and I think that's important because when you first put your cardstock in here, it's pretty thick and it's going to be pulling against the seams, so you don't want those seams to just come right apart. That would be kind of disappointing. So I think the heavy duty is a good idea, and that's again what I've been using. Now you could probably get some less expensive ones from Amazon or something like that. I just haven't really investigated it at this point. So if you guys use a different brand for this, I know a lot of people follow Jennifer McGuire's ideas because she's brilliant, of course. So you might be using this or some other brand. I'd love to hear what you're using. This is a 10-pack. It costs about $9. I think it's $8.99. So it does kind of add up when you start using these for all of your papers. So if there's a better option, a little less expensive but still heavier duty that you're using, I would love to hear it, and I'm sure everybody else would too. The second thing I want to talk about is tablet, or the 6x6 paper storage. I have been purchasing these buckets from Tuesday Morning. If the exact one isn't there that I've been using, there's another style that is almost identical. The key is you need it to be at least about 6 inches deep at the bottom of the container. A lot of these containers are wider at the top and narrower at the bottom, so just make sure that you have at least a 6x6 size. Otherwise your 6x6 pads won't actually fit. And what I like to do is use these little packages, these little pockets. These come from Stampin' Storage, and what's nice about these is that you can use them to put your scrap pages in. Let's find a better example where I've really been doing that. This one is perfect. So I find that after you use your pads a while, if you're heavily using them, they'll start falling apart. So it becomes a little more challenging to store them. And then there's always these small leftover pieces, right, that we don't want to give up, and we don't want to really separate, or at least I don't, from the main paper pad, because you never know when you're going to want to use them. So what I like about these Stampin' Storage pockets is they will fit all your scraps. It'll keep the pad together, and it then stores really nicely in that container. So that is the pad storage. Give me a second. So next I want to show you a system that's been working really, really well for me. This is my scrap paper storage system. This is what, if I have an 8.5 by 11 piece and I have at least a 5.5 by 3 inch wide piece of paper I can get out of that scrap, I will do so, and then I store them by color in this basket. Now, this one is not 4 1/4. It had this punch in the corner, but that's okay. The main thing is I want them to be 5.5 inches tall by and large, because then you get a nice neat look on the top. You don't have a bunch of raggedy edges, right? And so I've filled this up completely when I first did this system about a year ago, and it's getting relatively thin. Now I'm always adding to it and taking from it, so I'm finding that this size works pretty good for me. Now this was just a berry basket. I don't know if you can, kind of hard to see, but it says Boone Hall Farms, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. So this is a berry basket, a 4 quart, it says. use to probably pick strawberries, I guess. Let me measure this. It is, oh, let's see. It looks like about 12 inches deep, and the inside here is about 6 inches wide. So plenty of room to put your 5.5 tall by whatever size, max 4 1/4 really, but I also put in smaller pieces like this because you never know when you can use this for a border or something along that line. And the way that I do this is I do my solids first, then I do my pattern papers. See, these are red pattern, and then I'll get into specialty like glitter, red, and metallics, and there's another piece of red. It's got glitter on the pattern. I don't know if you can make that out. So anyway, that works really well. In addition to that, I store my coffee filters in here. I just fold them up in fourths, and they're easy for me to grab when I'm doing my embossing this way. I also put in scraps of paper like this. This doesn't really fit anything, but this was a background I made, and I thought this would be really pretty for something, maybe a little border on a card or something like that. I just haven't done anything with it yet. If I make borders, I will tend to put them in here. Here's I think this is a 6x6 border that I did so that I remember I have it. And then on the sides are kind of handy. Here's where I keep my clamps. So if I'm doing 3D work with paper, I can use these clamps. They're from the Dollar Tree, just to secure things down while the glue is drying. I have another plain black clamp here which you use for office, but of course that works nicely too for crafting. It's just that those are a lot more expensive than these little clips from Dollar Tree. I also tend to put in a piece of paper towel, and this I also fold in fourths. And this is here just for quick, if I need, I have a spill or I just need a quick cleanup of some sort. It's right there and handy. I don't even have to take my roll and tear it off and all that. So anyway, I find that's very, very handy and works fabulously for me. It's also so easy when you're doing card fronts because these are pretty much already sized for your A2 card fronts. So if you haven't done something like this, maybe seen it somewhere, I just want to tell you that I personally love it. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining me today. And remember, if you want to participate in Craft Talking, just use the hashtag, which is #sun, SUNCRAFTTALK. So it's pound or hashtag #SunCraftTalk, all together in one word. And just use that in your description for Instagram, for Facebook, or for YouTube if you're going to put a video out of something that you've been doing. It doesn't hurt to use the hashtag, and then I can find you, and I can mention your channel or your Instagram or whatever and talk about maybe what you've made. I want to give another shout out for Rhonda's Got a Project because she used my hashtag again this week, and thank you, Rhonda. Hopefully you got my package this week that I finally got out on Monday, and I hope you enjoyed that little package of goodies that I sent your way. All right, guys, take it easy, have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday morning. Bye.